After getting rejected by my senior sister, I was so embarrassed I made her life miserable. I messed with her every single day, until one day, out of nowhere, her spiritual roots got destroyed. She could never cultivate again. And I felt a chill run down my spine. Wait, she just got crippled at the start of the story? That's literally the main character setup, which means I'm the villain who's about to get wrecked. So right then, I ditched the whole villain arc, and pivoted to being her devoted protector. Senior sister, from here on out, you've got me. Shen Yuchu was the top disciple of Xiaoyao sect, the sect leader's favorite. Everyone admired her, but nobody could get close. She'd cut off all emotions, cold as ice. All she cared about was cultivation, absolutely zero warmth toward anyone. 3 months ago, she was sent into a secret realm for training, but she took a wrong turn, got hit by demonic energy, and her spiritual roots were shattered. No chance of recovery, the sect leader was devastated, couldn't stop sighing. But the real gut punch, when she showed up again, she was being expelled from the sect, wearing rough plain clothes, carrying nothing but a small bag. Everyone in the sect knew about the beef between me and Shen Yuchu. When they saw me walking over, they all stepped aside. I used to be one of her many admirers, but I was the only one bold enough to confess. My family had been doctors for generations. Saving lives was our thing. My parents sent me to Xiaoyao sect, hoping I'd master their arts and bring glory to our name. So before I confessed, I thought I had it in the bag. She shut me down hard. I was humiliated in front of the whole sect, and they never let me live it down. I was so humiliated I just snapped, and started making her life hell every day. It was the only way to cope. Right now, in the main square, someone was waving me over, hyped up. Sulichuan, get over here! It's payback time! I walked over, nice and easy, low-key thrilled on the inside. Well, if it isn't the great senior sister. How'd you end up like this? That scar looks pretty rough. What a shame. Shen Yuchu, who had been staring at the ground, suddenly snapped her head up, eyes sharp as a blade, full of hatred. Even with that scar, she was still striking. Couldn't hide her natural beauty. Sulichuan, she rejected you back then. Now she's way out of your league. I smirked slightly, and pulled a wooden box from my sleeve. Inside was my family's heirloom life-saving pill. Might just be able to heal her shattered spiritual roots. The crowd exchanged confused looks. Nobody could figure it out. Sulichuan, you want revenge? Go ahead. I'm not scared of you. I looked into those defiant eyes of hers, and something just took over me. Before I knew it, I blurted out, Shen Yuchu. Even though you cut me deep, when I heard you were leaving the sect, it hit me in that moment. My feelings for you never changed. The whole place erupted. Gasps everywhere, not just the crowd. Even I was shocked by my own nerve. But being a simp beats being her enemy for life. I made up my mind. Ignored all the whispering around me. Doesn't Xiaoyao sect value loyalty above all else? She was your top disciple. And this is how you treat one of your own? Shen Yuchu let out a faint smile, but her eyes were full of suspicion. You said you like me? You spent years sabotaging me at every turn, picking fights whenever you could, blowing everything out of proportion, spreading rumors about me, until people started avoiding me. But she never cared, just kept her head down and cultivated. Right now, though, she knew exactly what was up. She suspected I was faking kindness just to humiliate her again. I couldn't let her keep thinking that, so I didn't give her a chance to argue. I grabbed her hand and forced the medicine box into her palm. Then I pressed the box into her hand and said in the gentlest voice I had, who would mess with someone they love? You're the one I've always wanted. From now on, I've got your back. Nobody touches you while I'm around. Your spiritual roots, your scar, I have a way to fix all of it. You'll be back to yourself. Shen Yuchu just stood there, frozen, looking completely dazed. Honestly, I had to give myself props. That story held up perfectly. Sure, I got rejected back then, but wanting what you can't have drives people crazy. Who's to say I never really had feelings for her? The whole love turning to hate angle? People eat that up every time, and I'd already gone this far. Once she climbs back to the top, she's not gonna bite the hand that fed her. Having the chosen one as my backing, I'd be untouchable. Just thinking about it felt amazing. Shen Yuchu stood there quietly, eyes down, lost in thought. I stepped closer and said softly, I know you don't want to leave Xiaoyao sect. Come stay with me. At least you'll have a roof over your head. After Shen Yuchu took the pill, her spiritual roots didn't recover right away, but they stopped getting worse. Still, it was better than before. I gently encouraged her not to give up. She nodded. The wariness in her eyes faded a little. Sometimes she'd look in the mirror, run her fingers over the scar and sigh. That one scar turned the sect's beloved goddess into someone people look down on. It looks bad, yeah, but it didn't hit anything vital. I'm confident. I can get your face back to exactly how it was. I started experimenting, tweaking the formula each time. At first, when I applied the medicine, she'd push me away, but eventually she gave in and just let me do it. After that, every time medicine hour came around, she'd show up at the pharmacy right on time, sitting quietly by the table, waiting for me. I'd apply the medicine, while telling her funny stories from around the sect. She rarely responded, but her eyes were always smiling. Day after day, we slowly got used to each other. Then came the day Ji Chang'an returned. That junior uncle everyone knew about. He was the person Shen Yuchu could never get over. That day she went completely quiet. When I was applying her medicine, she was totally out of it. That's when it hit me. The story made it clear. Ji Chang'an was her destined love interest. No wonder she looked so lost. Senior sister Shen, you've got to pull yourself together. One day, you're going to be the glory of Xiaoyao sect. When that day comes, forget Ji Chang'an. The whole world will see your light. Shen Yuchu lifted her eyes slowly, her gaze deep and quiet. All those people. Does that include you? Of course. When you make it to the top, don't forget who saved you. She gave a small nod, and a hint of a smile returned to her eyes. I've been watching your spiritual roots lately, just taking medicine. Won't be enough. You need to start training again to let them regrow. There's a hidden grove behind the medicine garden. Go train there. No one will bother you. Shen Yuchu listened closely and agreed without hesitation. A few days later, her scar had faded by 80%. She started leaving early and coming back late, training hard in the grove. After a month, her face had fully returned to how it once was, but then someone spotted her while she was training. That person ran straight to the sect leader, claimed she was practicing dark arts, losing her mind, and almost killed someone. By the time I heard the news, the sect leader had already ordered her locked up. She wasn't practicing dark arts. Someone must have startled her and caused her to go off. I could have gone to vouch for her right then, but I was still waiting for the right moment. If you want someone to owe you for life, empty promises don't cut it. Showing up when things are at their worst, that's what really sticks. The worse the situation, the more desperate she is, the more valuable that helping hand becomes. I had just reached the entrance of the main hall when I heard the sect leader ask the disciples, "What do you think should be done?" Shen Yuchu's spiritual roots are already gone, yet she somehow cultivated dark powers in just a month. She must be possessed by demonic energy. She cannot be allowed to stay. Throw her in the furnace. Burn her out before it's too late. I recognized the disciple who said that. He'd gone down the mountain to gamble once, and Shen Yuchu had caught him. She gave him 50 lashes and confiscated all his winnings. Now that he had the chance, there was no way he'd let it go. And since Shen Yuchu never bothered to defend herself, it only made everyone more convinced she was guilty. I agree. This woman is rotten to the core. Killing her would be doing the sect a favor. If she's allowed to master those dark arts, nothing will be safe.